very good morning, students. Today we will continue with our previous lecture, which was about the eukaryotic and the prokaryotic cells, their structure, the components with which they are formed of. Today we will discuss about the difference between the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cell is single membrane system, whereas the eukaryotic cell is a double membrane system. In prokaryotic cells, the cell wall occurs outside the cell membrane in most of the cases, and the cell wall is made up of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and specific amino acids. In case of eukaryotic cell wall occurs in some protista, most of the fungi, and in many of the plants. In fungi, it is made up of chitin, whereas in others, protista and plants, it is made up of cellulose. The cell membrane has respiratory enzymes in case of prokaryotic cells. However, no respiratory enzymes are present in the cell membrane of the eukaryotic cells. The cell membrane forms many infoldings which are referred to as the mesosomes or photosynthetic lamina in case of the prokaryotic cells. No such infoldings are formed in case of the eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells lacks organelles, membrane-bound organelles, except the ribosomes. It has the ribosomes. Eukaryotic cells contains all the cell organelles. Ribosomes which are present in prokaryotic cells are of 70S type and they are found free or bound to the cell membrane, whereas in the eukaryotes the ribosomes are of 80S type and they are found free or bound to the endoplasmic reticulum and the nuclear envelope. The cytoplasm shows no streaming movement, that is cyclosis, in case of the prokaryotic cells, whereas in the eukaryotic cells the streaming movement of the cytoplasm, that is cyclosis, is observed. In prokaryotic cells, endo and exocytosis do not occur, whereas in the eukaryotic cells, it occurs in many protists and animals. Mitotic spindle is not formed during the cell division in case of prokaryotic cells, whereas it is formed in cell division in case of eukaryotic cells. The cells are haploid. Most of the prokaryotic cells are haploid, whereas most of the cells are diploid, but haploid cells also occurs in eukaryotic cells. Transcription and translation occurs in the cytoplasm. Transcription occurs in nucleus and translation in the cytoplasm in eukaryotic cells. In case of prokaryotic cells, the mRNA needs no processing, whereas in eukaryotic cells, the mRNA needs processing. Protein synthesis occurs in ribosomes in the cytoplasm in prokaryotic cells, whereas in the eukaryotic cells, it occurs in cytoplasm, mitochondria, and plastids. The nucleus is not, the nuclear material is not surrounded by any nuclear envelope. Therefore, it is referred to as the prokaryote. That means the primitive kind of nucleus. Whereas the nuclear material is surrounded by the nuclear envelope in case of the eukaryotic cells. There is no nucleolus in case of prokaryotic cells, whereas there are one or more nucleolus or nuclei in case of the eukaryotic cells. In prokaryotes, the DNA is circular and is not associated with proteins, whereas in eukaryotic cells, the DNA is linear and it is associated with proteins, whereas the extranuclear DNA, which is present outside the nucleus in the mitochondria and the chloroplast, that DNA is circular and is without nucleus, like the prokaryotic cells. The DNA is found in the cytoplasm, whereas the DNA is found in case of eukaryotes in nucleus, mitochondria, and chloroplast. This is the nuclear DNA, and the DNA which occurs in the mitochondria and chloroplast are called as the extranuclear DNA or organellular DNA. The prokaryote cells, because it has small amount of DNA, it codes for fewer proteins, whereas the eukaryotic cells code for more proteins. Replication in prokaryotic cells occurs throughout the cell cycle, whereas in the eukaryotic cells, it occurs during the S phase of the cell cycle. In prokaryotes, the cell cycle is short, that is of 20 to 60 minutes of duration, whereas in eukaryotic cells, the cell cycle is long, it lasts for 12 to 24 hours. Most of the prokaryotic cells are non-sexual organisms, whereas the most are sexual organisms in eukaryotic cells. The examples of prokaryotic cells are bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, rickettsia, and spirochetes, whereas the eukaryotic cells include algae except for blue-green algae, protista, fungi, plants, and animals. The next topic is the microscope and the microscopy. Basically, microscopes are used to see the objects which are not visible to the naked eyes. and the process of seeing the objects through the microscope is referred to as the microscopy. For studying the microscopes, the two important terms should be learned before studying in detail about the different kinds of microscopes. These are the magnification and the resolving power. Magnification is basically the ratio of the size of the image which is seen by the microscope to the size of the image which is seen through the naked eye. And it is basically obtained by multiplying the magnification or the power of the objective lens with the eyepiece. Resolving power is the ability to distinguish between the two closely placed points as two separate points. Human eye has a resolving power of 100 micrometer. That means it cannot see the objects which are smaller than 100 micrometer. Resolving power or resolution is half of the wavelength of the illuminating light. According to the source of illumination, the microscopes are of four kinds: the light microscope, ultraviolet microscopes, X-ray microscopes, and the electron microscope. Out of these, in our syllabus, these two are mentioned, the light microscope and the electron microscope. So we will study in detail about these two kind of microscopes. The light microscope uses the visible light as the source of illumination, whereas the electron microscope uses the beam of electron as the source of illumination. The light microscope has been modified according to different kinds of needs into four different kinds of microscopes. These are phase contrast, fluorescence, polarizing, and interference microscope. So first, the light microscope. The first simple compound microscope was discovered by Zacharias Janssen and J. Janssen in 1590. It was a simple long tube with two lenses. Later on, different parts were added, and it resulted into the present day compound microscope. Like the reflector was added in 1712. The condenser lens was first added in 1635. Ocular lens or the eyepiece, two lenses were added in 1660, and adjustment screws were added in 1668. So these are the different parts of the light microscope: the reflector, condenser lens, stage, objective lens, ocular lens, and the adjustment screws. This is the microscope, the simple compound microscope. This is the base, the U-shaped base of the microscope. This is the base of the microscope, and this is the complete microscope. It is monocular because single eyepiece is present. This is the reflector or the mirror. The function of this is to illuminate the specimen with the light source. This is here. This is the condenser. This is the condenser which condenses the light to the specimen over here. The condenser is provided by this structure. This is the diaphragm which controls the size of the aperture with which the amount of light can be controlled, which can be condensed towards the source or the specimen or the object. Then comes this is the stage, which is the space provided so as to hold the slides on which the specimen is being mounted. These are the objective lens because they are nearer to the object. They are referred to as the object lens. They are of different powers. The minimum power in this microscope is the 10. Here it is, the 10 power. Then there is 40. This is the 40, and it is the maximum power, which is 100. This lens can be used under oil immersion. The function of this objective lens is to form the first magnified image of the object. Then this is the body tube. This body tube is the region where both the objective lens and the eyepiece is attached. This is the eyepiece, and this eyepiece has the power of 10x. This is monocular microscope because only we can see through only one eye. This is monocular. Then this is the arm with which we hold the microscope. and these are the adjustment screws. This is the coarse adjustment knob with which we first focus the object, and then we again do the fine focusing with this fine adjustment knob. So these are the adjustment knobs. This is the base, these are the pillars, this is the arm, this is reflector, this is condenser with diaphragm, this is stage, this is objective lens, body tube, eyepiece, and these are the adjustment knobs, the coarse adjustment knob and the fine adjustment knob. Now the microscopes are also provided with these knobs, these oculometers. These are there so as to identify the point at which you have to see the particular organelle or the stage of the cell division by simply placing the slide. Once you have observed the slide under this microscope, you can note down the readings, these readings and these readings, and next time whenever you are going to use this slide, you have to just fix these readings at these points and you will see that particular stage which you want to see. So this was about the light microscope. Then comes the electron microscope. It was discovered by Knoll and Buska in 1931. They are made up of electromagnetic lenses, which are basically the coils of wire enclosed in soft iron case. It has the metal filament tungsten, which is kept in a vacuum tube, and it is heated so as to produce the beam of the electron. It has electromagnetic condenser lens so as to condense the source of light, that is the electron beam, towards the specimen. Electromagnetic objective lens, which magnifies, which produces the further magnified image of the object, and the electromagnetic projector lens, which projects the image of the light on the fluorescent screen or the photographic screen. The picture which is obtained in the electron microscope are referred to as the electron micrographs. So these are the ray diagrams of the light microscope and the electron microscope. This is the light microscope. The source of illumination is the visible light. And this is electron microscope. This electron microscope is completely contained in a vacuum tube so as to prevent the collision of these electron beams with the oxygen and the nitrogen which are present in the air, so that they do not get scattered and a complete beam of electron strikes the specimen. The light microscope is based on the differential absorption of the light rays by the different components of the cell, whereas the electron microscope is based on the differential scattering of the electron beam by the different components of the cell. So this is the light source. These are the condenser lens of the both. They have the glass lenses. They have the electromagnetic lenses, whether they are condenser, objective or projector lens. The image which is formed in the light microscope, final image, can be seen directly by the eye, whereas in electron microscope it is seen on the fluorescent screen or the photographic screen. This is contained in a vacuum. It does not has any vacuum. It is being operated in air. The resolution or the resolving power of light microscope is 3000 angstrom, whereas of the electron microscope, theoretically it is 0.03 angstrom, but actually it is 10 angstrom. It can magnify the object 3000 times, whereas the electron microscope can magnify the object 6000 times. It is based on differential absorption of the light. This microscope is based on the differential scattering of the light. And in electron microscope, the preparation of electron and the light microscope specimens are same except for certain differences which will be discussed later on. And in electron microscope, ultra thin sections are required because the penetration power of the electron beam is less as compared to the visible light. So these are the differences between the light microscope, LM and EM, that is electron microscope. Now the preparation of materials for light microscope. In light microscope, two kinds of specimens can be observed. They are the whole mounts, which are the intact objects, living or dead. The small organisms, in case of microorganism, the complete organism can be mounted as wholly mounted. But in case of larger organisms, a part of the large organism can be preserved as the whole mounts. The next materials which can be used for light microscopy are the sections. For making the sections, there are different processes which is done so that the sections can be made and observed under the light microscope or the electron microscope. The first step is the fixation. In fixation, the main aim of the fixation is to fix the true structure of the living cells by checking the changes in them. This is done by adding the specimen in a fixative, and the most commonly used fixatives are 5% formalin and Boyne's fluid. These fixators, what they does is they basically cause the coagulation or the precipitation of the cell structures, and or they introduce the cross links which preserves the specimen and prevents the post-mortem changes. 5% formalin is basically formed by adding 7 parts of water to 1 part of formalin. The Boyne's fluid is formed of 75% of aqueous picric acid, 25 parts of strong formalin and 5 parts of glacial acetic acid. The period of fixation depends upon the type of the tissue, the thickness of the tissue, how thick the specimen is. Basically, Boyne's fluid or Boyne's fixative takes about 24 hours for fixing a material, basically the thick material. The next step is preservation. After fixing the material has to be preserved, and the two preservatives are 5% formalin and 70% alcohol. The 5% formalin act as the fixative as well as the preservative, and the second preservative is 70% alcohol, which can be prepared. Different grades of alcohol can be prepared by adding water and ethyl alcohol in different concentrations. So this 70% alcohol, after fixation of the material, this fixative is to be cleared out of the tissues by washing it several times with water, and then they are transferred to 70% alcohol. Then comes the dehydration, and before transferring it to 70% alcohol, they has to be transferred through 30% alcohol, 50% alcohol, and then 70% alcohol, because the tissues and the organisms are very delicate. Then the next step is dehydration. In dehydration, the water has to be removed out of the material. For this, the material which has been preserved in 5% formalin are passed to 30, 50, 70, 90% alcohol and then absolute alcohol. Whereas the materials which are preserved in 70% alcohols can be directly passed to the 90% and then absolute alcohol. This results in the dehydration of the specimen. The duration of the material the duration by which the material has to be kept in these different grades of alcohol depends upon the thickness of the material. Next step is embedding. Embedding is basically done so as to make the material firm and fit for section cutting. Because the tissues are soft, to make them firm, they has to be embedded. And the embedding material which is basically used in light microscope is the wax, paraffin wax, which is used in a crucible. It is kept in the oven at the melting point of the paraffin wax, and this melted wax is used for embedding the tissues. The tissues are transferred to the crucibles containing the melted wax, and after giving changes for 2 to 3 days, twice or thrice in a day, they are then taken out, and the tissue, the part of the wax containing the tissue, is used for sectioning. For sectioning, what we do is we use an instrument which is referred to as the microtome. This microtome has a sharp blade with which the different adjustment can be done so as to cut the sections of the specimen. The sections which are basically cut, the sizes which are preferred in for sectioning in light microscopes are usually 5 micrometer or 7 micrometer. For this, a slide is taken. It is a thin layer of Mayer's albumin is added to it. Mayer's albumin is basically 50 ml of each of egg white and glycerine, in which 1 gram of sodium salicylate is added as preservative. It is then shaked and then filtered and used. So a drop of Mayer's albumin is added on the slide and it is evenly spread on the slide. Then the sections, the ribbons containing the sections from the microtome, which is obtained from the microtome, are fixed on this slide. Then comes the staining procedure. Before staining to be started, the specimen, the sections which are placed on the slide are kept in xylene for overnight. Or if overnight is not possible, then these slide are first slightly heated on the hot plate, and then they are immersed in xylene for 2 to 3 hours. This paraffin wax is being used as embedding material because it can be easily removed in the organic solvent, and the most commonly used organic solvent is the xylene. And then staining, the most common staining which is done is of the borax carmine single staining. For this, 4 grams of borax is dissolved in 100 cc of the distilled water, and then 3 grams of carmine is added. It is boiled for half an hour, and then 100 cc of 70% alcohol is added. It is kept for a few days, and then it is filtered and used. The specimen is, before staining, it is being hydrated by transferring it to 100%, 90% and 70%, and then it is stained with the borax because its concentration is nearly similar to the 50% alcohol. After staining, they are cleared. Clearing is done, in which the specimen is dehydrated. It is again passed through 50%, 70%, 90% and absolute alcohol, and then placed in xylene. And after this, it is being mounted. For mounting the specimen, the slide containing the specimen, over it a drop of mounting medium is added, usually the Canada balsam. This mounting medium basically has the same refractive index as that of the glass slide and the cover slip. And then this becomes the permanent slide by covering it with the cover slip, and it can be observed under the microscope. The procedure for the preparation of electron microscope is similar to the light microscope, except that the fixator which is used is glutaraldehyde and osmium tetroxide. In light microscope, it was 5% formalin and Boyne's fluid. The embedding material is epoxy plastin or epon, whereas in light microscope it was paraffin wax. And the stains used are in that it can be borax carmine, hematoxylin, eosin, different stains are used. But in electron microscopes, they are uranyl acetate and lead citrate. Thank you.